Today on Community Speakers, you'll be hearing an interview with Martin Funnell, who works as a part of the What If team. This is a campaign service available and associated with West Sussex County Council, whose aim is making West Sussex stronger, safer and more resilient. Hopefully, we can give you a better understanding of what you can do to improve your community.
What is What If?
What If is actually a culture. It's about getting communities, individuals and local businesses to understand how they can contribute to the local community, not just in times of emergency, but as we've seen during the periods of COVID, it's about supporting one another and being there for each other. It's basically about being a good neighbour, but it's also giving communities the power, the knowledge and the skills to understand how they can help themselves, something that they might not have really understood before.
So how can that make a difference?
So the way that community resilience makes a difference is it's probably all the things that people would have done quite naturally. If you see someone that's falling down in the street, instinctively you'll go and try and help them. So it doesn't have to be an emergency situation. It could be that, you've got a vulnerable neighbour, that there's been severe weather and people can't get out to the shops or the chemists or to the doctors. So it's doing all the things that you would naturally do to assist, but doing it in a coordinated way.
Why is it important for communities to understand what they can do?
The thing about community resilience is there's an awful lot of urban myths about what people feel that they can do and what they can't do. They're scared of breaking the law or being sued for getting things wrong. And there's been some quite significant changes in the law over the last 10 years or so, which really allows and empowers local communities to be able to assist each other. One of the things, for example, is there's an urban myth that you shouldn't grip your path when it's snowy or icy. Well, yes, you can grip your path, but don't do it with warm water so that it freezes over later in the night and people end up slipping on it. So it's all about implying common sense.
Who can support community resilience?
Community resilience is really for anybody, whether it's from young children. I can talk about how we support young people in a moment, but community resilience is for anybody within the community, young, old, either as groups, as individuals, existing networks. It's really for anybody to get involved and do whatever they feel that they can do, whether it's planting bulbs for the spring or keeping their areas tidy from litter or being ready for a major emergency. Absolutely anybody can get involved in community resilience.
How can young people get involved?
There's an absolutely brilliant way of young people getting involved, and it's through the Duke of Cornwall Award, which enables all young children through the 4 key stages of education. So the youngest learn about understanding to keep themselves safe. As they progress, they learn about keeping their home and their neighbours safe. Then they expand wider into the community on how they can keep their community safe and stop emergencies happening or being able to respond to them when they do. And as they move on to the upper stage, then they can start thinking about what are the potential impacts from climate change and what does that mean for their local community, and building up a degree of resilience from a very young age.
Will the impact of climate change affect how we need to prepare?
We've all noticed that there's been significant changes in the weather and weather patterns, whether we're getting more rainfall, be it in the winter or in the summer, in much more heavier downpours, prolonged periods of dry weather, a lot higher temperatures. All of these things can have impacts on people's health and well-being. We're seeing lots more what's called local surface water flooding, where we have torrential downpours and areas get flooded because the drains can't cope. So there's an awful lot that people can do. Simple things like just looking after and keeping leaves clear from drains, using surfaces that absorb water and don't allow for the water to run off, considering about what plants they put in their garden, understanding the importance of preserving and protecting our water supplies. So there's an awful lot people can do to consider what climate change means for them at a local level.
Where can we find more information about
We've got a number of places that you can find out more with on Facebook and other social media channels via Twitter, etc. We're on the West Sussex County Council and West Sussex Fire and Rescue website, or if you can want to know any more, email whatif at westsussexcountycouncil.gov.uk.
Brilliant, thank you.
No worries.
If you would like to hear more about the available services in the West Sussex community, there are articles, interview and other links throughout our magazine website. If you want to keep updated with any upcoming services and projects, follow us on our social media.